GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.
Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Aditya Suhas Jambale's Article 370. The film is an effective, entertaining primer on Kashmir, mixing outdoor action and indoor political drama. Now, the only way to watch a historical movie, whether it is the biopic of a character or it is the biopic of a political act like Article 370, is to keep in mind Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon. Depending on a number of factors from our political beliefs to personal prejudices, the truth on screen is not necessarily the truth that actually happened. What matters then is whether the film, without too much embellishment, presents a version of what could have possibly happened. Director Aditya Suhas Jambale manages that quite well in this effective, entertaining primer on the abrogation of Article 370, which gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. The film opens with Kashmir being described as an open-air jail and ends with pictures indicating that all is well now. The movie, in other words, simplifies, and necessarily so for screenplay reasons and censorship reasons too. It simplifies a very complex issue. And taken purely as a movie, it works. First, we get a primer before this primer on Article 370 about how the Muslim majority state of Jammu and Kashmir had a Hindu king named Hari Singh. We hear about Jawaharlal Nehru's alliance with Sheikh Abdullah and so on and so forth, and we arrive at the point where the state becomes Apni Desh Mein Ek Alag Mulk. Once this past is established, we land in the present on the day the voting happens on revoking the special status according to Kashmir. August 5, 2019 is that day. The strength of the narrative, which spans the years 2016 to 19, is that the two protagonists are women. Yami Gautam plays Zuni Haksar, the action heroine out on dangerous missions to apprehend terrorists or mujahids, depending on who is doing the talking. And Priya plays Rajeshwari Swaminathan, the determined deputy secretary of the PMO's office. One handles pistols, the other handles the paperwork, and the slick interplay between this two-woman team is propulsively watchable. Both characters, refreshingly, are committed career women. They have no romances, relationships, and both actors are rock solid. The fast-paced narrative is divided into chapters with pulpy titles like The Lover Boy of Tral and A Knock on the Door. And indeed, what we see could be a filmization of a Lynn Dayton or a John le Carre novel infused with the pyrotechnics of a James Bond adventure. The shootouts are very well staged, and the challenges regarding Kashmir keep mounting, from the biggest rebellion against the Indian government to unmasking possible double agents, from a voice of reason arguing against the abrogation of Article 370 to my favorite part, the detective work around a missing clause in a document. There is also a personal angle to Zuni's involvement in all this, and this is the part that gets lost amidst all the sound and fury. A subsequent track about a comrade who is killed in action in Pulwama works much better to infuse Zuni with increased zeal. An extended stretch of cross-cutting between two kinds of conflict, that is Zuni and team on the one hand versus attackers, and on the other hand we have Rajeshwari and the Prime Minister in the Rajya Sabha. This cross-cutting is particularly well done. Among the bunch of characters that add intrigue to this tale are a man with a carefully cultivated back channels with terrorists and separatists, a fearless political reporter played by Airavati Harshe, the variations on Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti, and a Prime Minister who remains unnamed but is played by Arun Govil, whose best known role is that of the King of Ayodhya. The masala moments, like how a bunch of stone pelters are foiled, are handled matter-of-factly without too much triumphalism. In fact, the words "his death will not be in vain," these words are used both for someone who fought for Kashmir and someone who fought for India in different contexts. I wouldn't exactly call this a balancing act, but there's certainly no jingoism in the writing, though some may question if the premise itself is jingoistic, pushing a pro-government narrative in an election year. But again, as a movie, it works. And that's it about Article 370. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galata Plus, and see you soon at the movies.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.